my goodness. Well, now that I'm done with the ostomy stuff for a while, let's move forward and do an open read. I'm going to pick the 18 cards and then we'll look at them together, see if we can figure out what the story is today. What are they telling us? What are they pointing to this time? Oops. Lord knows, could be anything with what's going on now. All the craziness. So what's driving it underneath of it is losses. Okay, losses. Figuring out what to do next. Losses, message about action. Okay. And new truth. But let's go ahead and look and see the readings about the difficulty being faced, the mental and emotional things that are happening, the pain of it all, trying to hang on to reserves, and what's happening in the world could be affecting each person's world as well. The energy coming into it, we have so many things still up in the air. The light being shed, you know, what we need to hang on to, and the wheel is turning when it comes to the world. Now the world is seeing one good thing that's come out of this. Trump is so toxic that across the world, these, you know, uber right types are getting kicked out. I mean, Canada, Australia, every place I've heard so far that is having elections, they see what this toxic brand can do and they want nothing to do with it. So that's one good thing that's coming out of it. So today it's about families, what's being suspended, overturned, and seeing from a different viewpoint when it comes to, you know, holding on to all of the assets, etc. Looking and seeing what's coming on with the economy and in your own personal world, you know, controlling your assets as much as you can, because the challenge is his manipulation. Okay, and what's being given out, and the abuses of power. This, you know, wanting to control, dominate. So potential outcome is what's being built, how the people are doing, and the struggle that's being faced now. Extra information, the strong arm tactics that's being used. We are in an agreement that this is a major burden and that losses are being, again, underneath of it, losses are being felt. Okay? So if we break this down, the foundation is the world, and we have this, the karma, the wheel is turning when it comes to being in power, holding on to all of these assets, this abuse, this coming down, them trying to control, and the struggle that everyone is in due to this. It's about trying to hold on to reserves, the light's being shed on what's being overturned, what's being given out, and the rich trying to control the situation of what's being given out to the people. And above it, all the pain and mental pain, physical pain that people are feeling with stuff up in the air when it comes to families and the manipulations that they're trying to put into place and build. So a lot of pain with what's being built. We're struggling in the world to come, against this. In the center of it is what's being suspended. Okay, what's being overturned when it comes to families and being able to hang on to their assets. The light is being shed on what's being given out. A lot of stuff up in the air when it comes to his attempting to control, and the wheel is turning when it comes to his manipulations. What the light is shedding about holding on to reserves as much as possible with things being overturned. Still a lot of stuff up in the air, but things are in flux, being changed as we see it. A lot of pain with being able to hold on to assets, and light is being shed across the world as to what's going on. So when it comes to what they're giving out and what they're suspending when it comes to people, again, we're looking at the manipulation and the strong-arming and what they're trying to build, and the people's fight against this tyranny and drama. So let's go ahead and shuffle these again, and let's do a clarification of it, which usually will tell the story more clearly. So this is not only just tariffs, I mean, it's the whole thing with job losses and all the other stuff going on. And in places, the HOAs, some people found out that their mortgage is doubled. I mean, people are losing homes, etc. So it's all about this whole thing that's taking place. The rich getting more greedy, and people just facing loss after loss. Okay, so let's see what we have. In the center of it all, we have what's being birthed. Okay, what's coming. And again, it's facing the pain, looking at what's taking place, feeling out in the cold. When it comes to this new path forward and taking action, new cup, okay? So a lot of new things, new emotions, new reality when it comes to financial things, the pain that we're feeling with all of it. And again, wanting to move forward. It's his dark government that he's trying to implement. Again, overarching thing about trying to move forward with cudgel in hand to control and dominate. Of course, has to be above it this dark power that he's trying to birth in America with this new emotional drama. You know, he's out for revenge. He's out to just line his own pockets is what it's about. So yeah, one side of it, we have this strong-arming, domineering, trying to figure out the next move. This is his life path. These are the choices being made. And we're looking at, what's being implemented overseas, the movement. And this is affecting the world. This is affecting the world. And there's an agreement about charging forward, bringing out the truth, and the truth bringing this to a conclusion when it comes to the thefts and the drama, okay? So again, above it all, we have this dark force, dark drama, trying to birth these things, bringing in this new emotional maelstrom of garbage. The pain that everybody's feeling, mental, emotional pain with the dark government and what he's doing with us economically, and the choices he's made to try to be a dictator, to try to control the narrative at every turn, the information, the narrative. You know, he's wanting to be like all dictators, get rid of genuine news and education and all the things that would point in his direction to show just how dark he is. All of those things he wants to repress and get rid of. Again, it's about his attempting to control and dominate, put people out in the cold, and move forward with cudgel in hand. And so he's continuing to look for his next movement. Okay. So that's what's going on. You know, the more this comes out, the more he's backed into a corner. And the more he goes into a corner, the more he will go into his rages and his drama. But each step he takes with that and trying to control, he's just putting a noose tighter around his neck. I want to ask a clarifying read, what's going to come out of this? What can you tell me is going to come out of this? So let's look and see what it says. So the center of it, what's going to come out of this is, again, feeling the burden that we've been carrying. All of these actions that's done, that we're having to deal with. When it comes to wanting justice, bringing justice on one side, and bringing to an end this drama, the mental things and all of this stuff that has laid us low is going to be looked at. Again, we have the 10 of rods and the 10 of swords. So coming to this conclusion of the heaviness of all this drama and the actions, we're going to be coming into justice when it comes to all of this. Yeah, the wheel is turning, the karmic wheel, because we don't like the harvest. Okay, so the truth is coming out, not liking the harvest, with all the things that were up in the air being done. When it comes to justice and the burden, investigations, looking deeper. Again, the wheel is turning. And sharing. No, for the long term. The long term. Looking at the long term when it comes to the harvest. Investigating, making these changes. Okay, because of all the concern raining down on the burden and the things still up in the air to be dealt with. Okay, we're looking at the harvest, the long term, and making changes, ending some things with that. And again, the investigation, the wheel is turning in wanting justice, looking towards justice. We have the families and ideations moving to a better place, mentally moving to a better place. When it comes to the long term, things are going to be worked on when it comes to justice and families. And looking at the losses that came, wanting to end those losses, ending what we lost in the harvest and make something better for the long term, because in the center of it, it's all about coming back to prosperity and the good life, a better life. So what's going to come out of it? A lot of radical changes are going to take place. They're going to work on better justice. Again, looking to see what needs to be rectified. A lot of concern. Again, when it comes to the burden, all the things, the actions that had taken place, and still things up in the air. But for the long term, they didn't like the harvest. The truth is coming out. It's coming to its conclusion with that when it faces the losses. Underneath of it, though, we're going to go to a better frame of mind and fix democracy. Okay, changes to democracy going forward, moving. Okay, so it's going to come out better in the end, but right now we are in the midst of the drama, you know, the most toxic phase of what's going on. But in the end, this will lead to radical changes when it comes to democracy and putting fail-safe things into motion so we never have to deal with something like this again. This is like reality check, waking up to what the dark things that are under it that need to be changed in a radical method. So on that note, we'll see you online.